Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to XRP once again. Thank you for your support. Okay, big of the CoinsKid crew. So XRP seeing a nice reaction off a 20-week EMA again, but I do think we're in the bottoming process right now, and I do think we're looking at either a new low or a truncation. So I'll go through that with you in today's video. Now I have made an indicator here called the crystal ball indicator. You can get it on TradingView, okay, or also you can get it in-house on the CoinsKid.com website. So what I think we've got right now is a crystal ball, a looking glass that we will see a pump sometime in March. Okay, if this is ringing out true, which currently it is, I've refined this particular indicator for you that we're tracking this basically. So we've got the bottoms and the peaks, and you can clearly see the Bitcoin price is the blue line and the crystal ball is your golden line basically. So we bottomed yesterday, coming back up, come back down, and last little rug pull, create them structural bottoms down there, and then boom, we're out of here sometime in March, roughly March the 17th, which is just a few weeks away. So again, this is an indicator. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. There's absolutely zero guarantees it will play out like this, but so far it is. This is called the crystal ball indicator. You can come to CoinsKid.com, or you can equally get it on the TradingView website right there as a custom indicator I create for the CoinsKid crew. It does have some default settings on multiple time frames. We've got the hourly, 4 hourly, 8 hourly, daily, 5 daily, and monthly and weekly as well. I've custom coded some default settings right there to offset for you in your charts, but you can override them and play with them yourself and have a little look. Okay, so I think going forward there's no bias, but I do see a final fifth wave for XRP and Bitcoin, and this pump that we're seeing right now in this golden line crystal ball could be giving us a clue that come March, once we get at the bottom down here for XRP, we will see that final fifth wave breakout right there. So let me dive into the XRP chart right now to show you what I'm looking at. So look at XRP on a monthly time frame. Let me snag this high here. Look, we've got the highest close way back there in January, the highest closed ever for XRP, and we're pulling back and everyone's losing their mind. But what we've found is support on that thick yellow line, which is a 20-week EMA. Now the clue to a bigger macro correction, just like it was there and just like it was there, is a loss of that thick yellow line. If we start to take it out and lose its support, okay, you could, you've got a looking glass, you're coming for your big ABC right there, okay. And obviously if we start to close out below that in time, whenever it is, even if we hit $8 or whatever, we lose that thick yellow line, you've got your clue to the bigger macro correction right there for XRP. And currently we're not. We've actually found support on it, and this is why on that flash crash in early February I did relay to put some bids on a 20, because this is where we always see that big boy bounce, and that's exactly where we saw a bounce yesterday as well. We found a level of support on the 20. Okay, so we're finding support on this 20 at the moment, which is really, really encouraging for XRP. But I do think, and there's no bias here, I still think that this is a C wave which we're going through for XRP. I don't necessarily think that that's the actual bottom. Okay, we got lucky with our bids on a 20 and it's come up beautiful, but I don't actually think structurally that is the bottom right now, because I've not necessarily seen an impulsive move there. Okay, and the clue may actually be in the CoinsKid crystal ball indicator that I create for yourselves. Okay, so I still think we're in the flat lining here of a structural bottom. Whether or not it sweeps this low, or we look at some kind of truncation where it falls into this wick, like I said to you, when everyone's getting extremely bullish saying we're going to do something like that, I did say to you I think we'll come up with sideways and we will fill this wick, okay, and the fear will be in the market, and that's exactly what's going on right now. So I think that from this point here we've got an expanded flat ABC. This is the C wave, and I think eventually we will see something like that here for XRP, and the confluence is in many other charts that I'm showing you on a daily basis right there. So what we can do, we can drop the CoinsKid crystal ball in and take a look at a potential scenario that from this pivot here, this is your high, we've come down here, okay, and this is where your corrections basically followed, and right now this is your bottoming process where this chart is beginning to come back up. So if we see a range break in the golden line right now, which is your crystal ball, then I think we've got to clue that XRP will do that. Because if you take a look, okay, on the weekly time frame, got all these beautiful pivot points, and once this range broke out, this was breaking out prior to XRP, which was still lagging and going sideways, but once it broke out, this is where the major clue that in this beautiful breakout in the golden line, the crystal ball, XRP eventually catch up basically. So this is what I'm looking at. I think we've got a clue. So we need to pay attention to the golden line, okay? We need to pay attention to the crystal ball, because if right now this comes up and takes out that pivot point, I'm going to start to go long with my life savings. Not really my life savings, but I will really take quite a high leverage position on XRP. And again, I relay to you, I'm not necessarily jumping into longs at this point, because I do think there'll be shakeouts and fake outs. Okay, what I'm looking for is structure in this particular chart. So I'll go through that with you, but I do think that that this is the C wave. I think we've got a final wave missing here for XRP, and obviously I could be completely wrong, but I need to see a little bit more structure and data in many other things to warrant, you know, jumping up and down saying XRP is in a bear market. I don't necessarily think it is, but I think we may be in for one more little shakeout here in this structural bottom that we're creating for XRP. Why do I think that? And it's really simple. It's because of the golden signal, basically the golden line, the crystal ball. So if I switch to the daily time frame right now, you can clearly see this is tracking it like an absolute boss. There's your pivot, there's your pivot, there's your other pivot, there's your other pivot, there's your low, there's your low. This right now is a low that we put in yesterday. Look at that right on cue. So we should experience some kind of ABC before final rug pull, which is this low here, before another pump and a breakout to the upside sometime in March right there, because we are tracking this golden line, which is your crystal ball, like an absolute boss. Now, whether or not XRP loses this pivot low, or, you know, it has some kind of truncation in this particular wave, time will tell, and that is an absolute possibility. So with this indicator I create for the CoinsKid crew, you can basically add your own settings. The crystal ball indicator right there, I've created all these settings for you. You can disable them and override them and things like that and have a little play, but it works on the hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, daily, 5 day, weekly, monthly, and obviously your general custom offset right there, so you can tinker with it. So go to CoinsKid.com and get involved in that particular indicator, because so far it's absolutely tracking it, isn't it, like a boss. So this, if we was just to respect this indicator, it looks as though XRP would do something like this, then have another little rug pull where it sweeps this low. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's a bear market, and then it turns around in a big pump to the upside as a potential scenario. So until that day comes, this is why I'm not necessarily jumping into any leverage longs at the moment for XRP, but I am accumulating it, I am buying it, because I do think there's a final fifth wave missing here, and I've gone through that scenario with you so many times, okay? But I think all of this at the moment is just an expanded flat correction. It's an ABC. This is a C wave which we're in right now, and they can be quite complex. So I'm going to zoom in and look at a wave count with you, because like I've always taught you, the 5 wave counter is boss for XRP. Let me show you, zoomed in right now, of a potential scenario of truncation, if not another new low for XRP, okay? So look at XRP on the 4 hourly time frame at the moment. You know, we found a lovely level of support on the 20, and again yesterday on the 20. Look at that, beautiful. So we're finding support on the 20, but I do think there's a chance we could wick down below that, you know, shake a lot of people out and have a final, you know, sort of push to the downside here. And again, what I'm looking for is 5 waves in this leg to the downside. And at the moment, I only see 3. And I'll go through this with you, okay? So typically what we do look for in ABCs, you know, whether or not the expanded flat correction, whatever, or zigzags, we've got the A wave down, the B wave high, and the C wave. And what we do, we see 3 waves in 1, 2, 3, which is your A wave, 1, 2, 3, which is your B wave, and then in the C waves, I do always look for 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then we jump all in on the final 5th wave. Now here, there's a possibility that that was your final 5th wave, but what I don't see here is an impulsive move from this low. I actually see a 3 wave move back up. So this for me is a correction, basically back up, you know, to this. So I actually think that we are still in the C wave, okay, for XRP, and we're not necessarily bottomed, and this is not actually a true bottom. It's a nice level of support, but I think it's the 3rd wave, okay? And what we've got here is a 1, ABC 2, this is a 3, ABC 4, and right now it's your final 5th wave. It's quite complex, and it has the power, you know, to basically lose this pivot low. Everyone poo themselves thinking you've entered a bear market, but then it starts to turn around. Now equally here, there could be a truncation, okay? So if we was to lose this low, around about $1.76, I've got some bids right now on that level. Now will they get met? I honestly don't know, but it's a level I've got bids in. If it gets met, fantastic, and I do think it will be the bottom, but there's equally the chance of truncation. So from here we've got a 1 into a 2 into a waterfall 3, which has lost its support, and right now you're going for this 4 and then the final flush to the downside. Whether or not it loses this wick or feels more of it, time will tell, but I do think we've got another little push here to the downside for XRP, because I don't see 5 waves from this pivot point here. I only see 1, 2, 3, okay? So I'm looking at some kind of retracement 4, then a final 5th wave down, a last little rug pull. Now whether it not loses that wick low, time will tell, but I have bids down there. But at that point I will look for the structure, and I'll keep you updated as best I can, because we do have truncation with XRP. We've seen it multiple times, okay? On the bigger time frames we've seen it. If we go back to this time frame here, I think it was in January 2023, this is your pivot low in June, okay? We came up in a 3-wave structure just here for XRP, ABC. We retraced into around about, what was it, 55 cent zone, wasn't it? This basically God candle back test just there. That was a zone that we was trading back up into, and then I was looking for 5 waves down in C, okay? 1, ABC 2, 3, ABC 4, final 5th wave down, and you can clearly see that this 5 wave move to the downside, which was your last push of a big correction, held that low. It was a truncation. So, you know, we've seen truncation with XRP before, so I wouldn't put it past XRP doing it again. So it's a potential scenario that we've not necessarily seen 5 waves in this leg here, which is your last leg to the downside before the reversal and the pump. So this is why I do think that we'll go through a retracement, potentially back up into this level here, around about 246, and then we'll roll over again. Now, whether or not this rollover does something like this, ABC comes back up and drops like this, you know, before turnaround would be absolutely amazing, or obviously loses that pivot low. If it does, I expect a big boy bounce at this level here, which is $1.63775. Okay, this got candle back test. If we get it, fantastic. I think the bottom's in for XRP, and what we've got is the A wave down, the B wave high, and right now this is a C wave, which we're actually still in. We've got 1, ABC 2, 3, ABC 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which was still in. This is the last leg right now. If I see 5 waves in this cluster here, I'm going to take a leverage position on XRP, okay? So that's basically XRP. That's the way I see it at the moment. I think we've been in an expanded flat correction since here. A wave down, B wave high, this is your C wave, which is still in. Whether or not it loses its pivot low, time will tell, or truncates. I'm just looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this leg here for XRP. Okay, and at that point I will entertain a long position with you and I'll keep you updated as best as I can. Okay, so that's basically update on XRP. If you're looking to get the indicator, jump into the CoinsKid crew Discord right there. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Back to a new update on XRP. Bye bye.